What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your #1 Embrace coach. And I want to let you know that my book, The Embrace Method, How to Leverage Your Trauma and Pain to Live the Life of Your Dreams, the second edition is now available on Amazon for purchase. Through heartfelt anecdotes, practical exercises, and profound insights, this book will show you how to confront your demons, heal your wounds, and emerge stronger and more resilient, ready to embrace a future with limitless possibilities. Remember, embracing your pain is the first step to transforming it into power. Be sure to get your copy today. And remember, embrace your struggles, embrace your successes, and most importantly, embrace yourself. Visit www.embracemethod.com to learn more about the Embrace Method book and the Embrace Framework.
Welcome to the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the essence of culture, our experiences, and a healing journey that shapes our growth and family. Through heartfelt stories about marriage, mental health, relationships, and parenting, we create a space where you can find connection, understanding, and inspiration. Join us as we explore the rhythms of life, one story at a time.
What's up, everybody? Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the rhythms of life, one story at a time. Now, last week, it was your boy Vlad the Bull and our special guest, Courtney James. And I've got another surprise for you this week, okay? Because I am your boy Vlad the Bull, your #1 Embrace coach, but I'm bringing with me a guest to the podcast, but she's not really a guest because La Cyber Mommy is in the building again. Tell them who you are, sis.
Back, Angie, La Cyber Mommy.
La Cyber Mommy is back in the building. Let's get a round of applause. La Cyber Mommy is back. Welcome back, sis.
I was gone, but I'm back.
You was gone, but you back.
It's been a long
it has
time.
been a few weeks now since we've sat down and chopped it up. Obviously, we saw each other last night.
Mm-hmm.
But what is going on with you, sis? Tell us, how have your travels been in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, so they've been really good. We went to Florida for a wedding. My niece, our flower girl, she was a flower girl at our wedding. She got married. KK, shout out Caitlin and Micah. There you go. We saw a lot of family. We went to my mom's farm. My mom has a farm. We saw the animals. The girls had a great time with all the cousins and just one big happy family gathering. I met my new nephew. I have a nephew that's not even a month old.
Oh, yeah. How's he doing, man?
He's so sweet. Little Jonathan.
Yeah.
I call him Cisco, though. His middle name's Francisco.
Just don't be singing the thong song to the homie, okay?
No thong song. Just Cisco.
Yo.
What else? So that happened. We also went on our date night with all the parents.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. We're gonna chop that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to dinner and dancing with the parents. We had Friendsgiving all together.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to post that picture. It's really nice.
Yeah, we're gonna put that picture right here on the screen. You guys are gonna see us, and this is what we do it all for, right? It is all about the power of community.
Yes,
and
our
the family.
village. Yeah, the village that we're creating or have created, because we do things together all the time. So you all haven't seen us, but we've been hanging out.
We've been hanging out, yo.
The kids keep us busy. I want to say collectively we have like 10 kids, all of us together. It's a lot.
Yeah, we've got like a small classroom when we're together, and there's a nice spread between the ages too.
Yeah.
I think the oldest one is
7,
and the youngest is Lito. No, Aria is the youngest, right?
No, Jalea. 2.5.
Julia's youngest.
Yeah,
so
but by
2.5,
like weeks.
Yeah. Like our kids are mostly all around the same age bracket, but there's a nice spread there.
Yeah.
And it is kind of nice because not as much as when your kids are older, but we're starting to see seedlings of what it's like for you to have an older child in the room.
Oh,
to watch
yeah.
all the younger children.
Yeah, and granted, they're not like really babysitting. I would never put that responsibility on a 7-year-old, but they do it upon themselves because they are like the oldest sibling, right? So they like to kind of control the situation. And the little kids do look up to them because if they're doing something, they do it. If they say they don't want to try a food, they don't try it. If they try it, they're also trying it. They want to go to the potty, they want to mimic that too, right? So it also helps with that situation. Because that kind of happened at Friendsgiving last night. So there's a 4-year-old in the group that he's having trouble going to the bathroom, right? Like he doesn't want to do it. He's like fighting. He's like, put my pull-up on. I'm not going to the toilet. But then he saw Aria, who's 2.5. Well, no, she's almost 3. Oh my God. January. But anyway, she goes to the toilet now. She'll ask for help because she can't get up there by herself. But he saw her go and he ran upstairs and went to the toilet upstairs.
You see how that worked though?
Yeah, it's crazy. He's like, I'm not going to let this little girl go to the toilet and not me. I'm 4 years old. So it was nice.
That's dope. So we're actually doing that with Lito right now. We're incentivizing him by giving him a gummy bear. Every time he successfully pees on the potty, he gets a gummy bear. I told him if he poops, he's going to get a twin snakes. Now, if you're a parent, you obviously know what these are.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier on an earlier episode about how we always making negotiations with these toddlers. So just as you're raising them up, as you should be raising them up, bro, you got to make negotiations. Man. It's like a crisis. It's like a hostage situation every day, man. Every other day, every other minute, every other hour. You know, you got to negotiate something. So, but it's nice when you have other kids.
Oh yeah.
Who promote FOMO, and I am all about FOMO if it helps us grow.
Oh yeah.
The FOMO growth.
Facts.
FOMO growth. Maybe that's gonna be a T-shirt idea. But we're glad. So you drove up to Florida, right?
We drove down to Florida.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drive up.
Right. Ain't nothing up. We're not going to Canada.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we drove down to Florida, thankfully, because I don't know if you've noticed what's going on with all these airlines. It's canceling flights left and right. And we went to see my family. We also saw Wallace's family. So it gave us that flexibility to like, you know, get to where we need to go and do all that. But Wallace is like, we ain't doing this again.
So Wallace don't want to drive it.
I mean, and granted, the girls are great in the car. Like they color, they talk to each other. We sing all the Disney soundtracks all the way down. Yeah. It's just being in the car. Wallace is like, this is too much. And then you lose a day because we don't drive straight through. Like we stop halfway, go to sleep, wake up, do the thing.
I mean, y'all are braver than Julie and I are. I mean, we a 45-minute trip with us reminds us why Lito is not yet ready, but he's actually been doing a lot better. But I don't think he's just a child that could. I don't think he can sit in a car for Jesus. How long, man? How long was that drive? Before you broke it up.
Oh, altogether it's like 20 hours, 18 hours. Yeah.
So how long would you stay on the road at a time?
Oh, we only stopped to get gas.
Oh yeah.
Like on the way down, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I mean, the younger the kids are, the more you have to stop. So the first time we ever did it, Alana was almost a year old. Oh no, she was a year old. She was like a year and 2 weeks old. So we stopped like every 2 hours to like change her diaper and do all that. But now that the girls are potty trained, yeah, unless they tell us to stop, like I'm not going to tell her to hold it. We'll stop, but they didn't. We stopped for gas or to get food if it was like lunchtime or whatever, but they did good.
That makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
It makes my heart happy too because you're down there seeing family, seeing old friends too, old college friends.
Oh yeah, college friends. They're the best because if I'm going down to my mom's or my mother-in-law's or my sister's, my friends will be like, "Oh, you're there? I'll go," and they'll drive 2 hours, 3 hours, and we just vibe because I'm way closer than I was when I was in Massachusetts.
That's true.
So I appreciate them.
That's dope, man. And you probably felt revitalized.
I did. As much as it's exhausting because it's not a vacation when you're traveling with kids, it's just your life somewhere else. Yeah, it filled my cup because, you know, we live here. We don't see everybody all the time, so it was good.
That's dope. I'm glad you guys had a good time. We missed you over here, man.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Roots of Rhythm is not the same without La Sabbath Mommy. People are like, well, La Sabbath Mommy.
I know, but I'm glad that you guys had Corbin. I'm excited to meet him later.
Yeah, Corbin James is the dude. We chopped it up. Check out our previous episode titled Many Men, where we break down masculinity. We redefine it. Corbin James is a good friend of mine, but also a strategic partner of mine. And he and I got some things brewing. But it was good to have him. Have him here, man. You know how I met Corbin?
No. Is it through the circle, the men's circle?
Nah, I sent him I saw his TEDx talk on YouTube, but it was like on Facebook or something, and I listened to his story, and he talked about having out-of-home experience, which you obviously know I don't have any experience with, but my wife does, and so a lot of it was so relatable, and he was vulnerable and well-spoken and just powerful story, and so I'm like, yo, I want to encourage my man real quick. He probably not going to see this stuff, man, because he on that TEDx stage. You know how big that stage is? It's like 100 feet by 100 feet.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, hey, man, let me just encourage him real quick. And I was like, yo, thank you for sharing your story, man. And we ended up talking. And he's like, yo, man, I think there's some room for collaboration. Let's work, man. Let's talk about it. And fast forward now, here we are. He's in the rhythm. community, but he's also a good friend of the family now, man. So really excited to have Jordan on the Corden on the podcast. Make sure y'all check him out, CordenJames.com, aka The Comeback Kid. Check him out.
And the episode with him on it.
And
share with your friends.
If you want the full conversation, there's a link to it somewhere. You're going to see it somewhere in your suggested videos feed. It's going to be the last one. Many men. But that was last week. This week, we are talking about what are our children going to inherit. The theme of this episode is inheritance, right? And so if y'all can say if you can spell inheritance, do me two things. Number one, if you can spell inheritance, put inheritance in the chat. Number two, if you can spell subscribe, put subscribe up in the chat.
I was trying to see how I was gonna work that in, Vlad, but you beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was like, how am I gonna do this? But thank you.
Make sure you subscribe right there. Like and share this content. Hit the subscribe button. Smash that bell so we can get this out to people. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get this thing blowing and popping. Right? Let's do it.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about inheritance. What do we want to keep? What do we want our children to keep? What do we want them to gain? And what are some of the things that have led to us making those decisions? Obviously, now, I think a good place to start is the beauty and magic that inspired the Roots and Rhythm podcast, which is our community.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Julie, your wife, touched on something earlier when we were talking about what we were going to talk about today. And she was like that she just appreciates like the village that we're building so much because she didn't have that growing up as like someone that was adopted, like seeing kids that look like her and experiencing like food and culture from, you know, her community in that way. And I do think that our children are truly blessed in that because they have a little bit of everything. So they're not going to just they see themselves, they see others, and they see the beauty in that otherness that is there, you know, and they can ask questions. Something that I'm really grateful for is that the girls have like this community of Black women that they can like reach out to, because I'm not living that experience, you know, and I want them to have people that they could go to if they have those questions that maybe I can't answer from experience. I could just tell them what I know from like my friends and family. But so I do appreciate that, and I'm glad that, you know, Julie shared that with us.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Vlad the Bull, your #1 embrace coach. Listen, I know that you are enjoying this Roots and Rhythm podcast episode, but I want to take a minute to talk to my fellas. Let's talk energy and vitality. If you've been feeling low, sluggish, or not quite yourself in the bedroom, it's time to check out the Natural E-Man. It's a powerful, all-natural men's supplement created by a good brother I trust, Dr. Quentin Cancel, someone I met in my men's group who's all about holistic health and real results. Trust me, I've seen the impact firsthand. So if you're ready to level up your energy, confidence, and performance, visit naturaleman.com and feel the difference. That's naturaleman.com. The link's in the show notes. All right, y'all, let's get back to the podcast. I'm glad she shared it too. I mean, Julie, she told me a lot about her experiences growing up. She wishes she had somebody who could do her hair that was familiar with Latina women's hair, curlier hair. She wishes that she had more kids surrounded her and her siblings that looked like them, so that they wouldn't always be gawked at on their soccer teams. Right? Not something I could necessarily identify with. Obviously, I grew up around my biological parents, my siblings, as well as a community that looked and reflected me. But definitely something I wanted to keep. Right? Is my son's sense of identity. He's already going to have that in his parents, right? That's something that Julie didn't really get growing up, but we're able to not only give that to him biologically, and by him being raised with us, but also, man, we got everybody under the moon. And what I love about our community, sis, is that there are so many different walks of life within our village, right? And everybody brings something unique to the table, and I look at it and I'm like, man, Lito really gets to take advantage of just how many skills and experience are in this group, right? So we're not going to name their names because we don't want to put their business out like that. But we've got about, 10 kids, you said, in this village, and about, gosh, I don't know how many adults. Let's call it like,
I think it's 10.
Like 10.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 10, yeah. Because some people only have 1 kid, some people have 3 kids, some people have 2. So all collectively, it's 10 kids.
Well, that's what's dope about it
Yeah.
too, because like one of our friends, Alex and Ashley, they have.
But
one
we're not
son.
naming names, LOL.
Oh man, I forgot. Well, y'all don't know them, but you should know them because they're so cool.
They're not on social media though.
They're
so
not
they
on
won't
social
find-
media, so you ain't gonna find them. But they're cool. They have 1 son, man, and he's like maybe a year or 2 older than Lee. They're very similar. Actually, Drew and I were talking about that earlier. How similar they are. How when they're among a group, if it's a bigger group with bigger personalities, they kind of step back. But if that group is smaller, then they kind of step up. And just to see them around each other, there's like this neutrality that exists between them, which I really enjoy. And you already know how I feel about Lito and the girls, man.
Yeah.
You know, they motivate him to do things that we can't motivate him to do.
Yeah.
And so not only is there magic when children see themselves in other children, but it's also magic when children see themselves in multiple adults, right? And what's that quote? It says, friends are the family you choose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Y'all are family.
Yeah.
You know that. And you know that Angie is so much family that when she come in, she just walk right in.
I do.
She's like, hello.
I'm
Sometimes
in
she'll be
here.
whispering like, hey.
I'll be like, honey, I'm home.
you know, I'm like, oh, Angie's here. You know, but that's like nothing, man.
I do. And I walk in and I'm like, oh, the dishes need to get done. Y'all tripping. And then I just do
We
them.
were at our Friendsgiving last week. Last night.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we were at our Friendsgiving last night, and you weren't feeling too great.
Yeah, I wasn't.
And I see Andrews get up, and she's like, I'm like, yo, you don't got to wash the dishes. You don't even live here.
I know, but then it's like we're going to leave all that mess for homegirl to do in the morning.
Nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that either. But I'm like, damn, girl, take a beat. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
Yeah.
So
Got to do what you got to do. As my something that I'm keeping to the girls talking about legacy. Something my mom always used to say is you have to leave places better than you found them. And she always used to tell us, it's like, you can't act like this. They're not going to invite you back. So I'm like, oh, well, let me.
Yo, you know what's funny?
Let me pick up after me and everybody else that left early. No digs.
No digs. No digs. Don't be offended if you're not offended. My mom didn't really teach us that directly, but indirectly, like I've always gotten that kind of energy from her, that direction. Like, yo, listen, you go to people's house, you're a guest, help out.
Yeah.
That's how my mom did it, right? But we didn't really have guests growing up at our house.
We always did.
We never had guests.
My house was literally party city. Like, we were having a party at least once a month and people would come. And I think it's because my dad, he was like the baby of his family and everybody's like favorite cousin. So he was the baby of 6. And then all the cousins and whatever, they just gravitated towards him. So he would have party. We just have old Cubans at our house, all his cousins and their kids and like our third cousins. Yeah, so it's just a whole bunch of Cubans.
Yo, I just discovered second cousins that are my age.
Yeah.
Or around my age. And I don't think I have any third cousins that I know about. But, you know, on the topic of what do we want our kids to inherit, what do we want them to not inherit, one thing I'm certainly adamant about not inheriting, my child not inheriting, is this generational dysfunction. And the reason why I don't want them to inherit that, well, why would you want anybody to inherit that, right? But if you didn't know any better, like my parents didn't know any better, what they brought to the household was what they were given, was what they realized, right? So the dysfunction, when you're healing from it at first, you're like, yo, when mom and dad were bugging, they did this, I'm going to do that better. That's how it starts. And then when you start getting the healing and the understanding and the clarity, you start realizing that, okay, they weren't trying to hurt me. They weren't trying to create dysfunction. They couldn't help but be dysfunctional because that's what their external environment that was dysfunctional was reflective of their internal environment that was dysfunctional. So if their daddy wasn't home, then my daddy wasn't home. If my mom's dad and if her parents had a toxic, you know, start and stop relationship, then that's exactly what you're gonna have.
No, and you touched on that, Vlad. So you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. But then it's like, then you went and got the tools to actually do something about it. Because unless you have those tools, it's just going to keep continuing. You can decide to stop something, but until you know how to stop it, it's still going to keep going, you know? So
yeah.
So you have to know how to get there and like go over that.
Kendrick Lamar in Father Time on the Big Steppers. Y'all hear me talk about the Big Steppers a lot. I'm actually going to work that. Kendrick Lamar and the Big Steppers. You need to listen. You like hip hop? get up to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, Kendrick Lamar is a big deal right now.
No, I know who Kendrick Lamar is, but okay, but continue.
But all right, so Kendrick Lamar and the Big Steppers. That album came out 3 years ago.
Okay.
Jeez, before Lito was born. Father Time. At the end of the song, he's talking about daddy. Like the whole song's about daddy issues, things that he learned from his dad, things that he didn't want to inherit from his father, things that he didn't want to pass down to his son. And at the end of the song, he says, they can't stop us if we see the mistakes. Until then, give the women a break, grown men with daddy issues. And I was like, damn, that is like...
Give the women a break, because what are we always trying to do here? Fix these dudes with issues. Not me, others.
Yeah, but I think it can be, obviously he's talking about his experience, but it can be obviously reflexive. Because grown men don't talk about their mommy issues either.
No.
That's not something that we're comfortable talking about, especially if our mothers were our quote-unquote saviors.
You could only have an issue, Vlad, if you believe there's a problem. They don't think it's a problem.
Nah, I mean, look, I didn't think it was a problem, but my mom and I had like a full-blown enmeshment emotionally.
Yeah, you think it's regular life. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. Until someone says, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And you believe it. Because, again, you might not think it's an issue. You're like, you're just not close to your mom. Close or obsessed.
Right, right. What's that show on TLC? It's like, it was about moms who couldn't let go. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
They're like helicopter moms, and these people, and their kids are trying to date. They're adults, and they're trying to date, but their moms are like, literally, you're dating this woman and her mother. It was weird.
What? There was a show?
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Help us out in the comments. It's a TLC show, and I forget what it's called, but it's about overzealous mothers, right? Particularly dead mama's boys and all that stuff. But I don't want my kids to inherit that, man. Especially because we had a long history of families just not
smothered.
Smothered. Yes, that's what it is. Smothered.
And they spelled it
smothered. Smothered. That's how I felt, though.
Yikes. I bet. I
didn't know that I was smothered until I met Julie, and she was like, hey, yo, what's good? Like, you and your mom act like you guys are an old married couple. And I was offended at first. I was like, excuse you? We don't do that type of stuff over here.
Right. You took it to the extreme. Yeah.
Like, it's not like we taking pictures and putting them on walls or anything like that. You know what I mean? But
wait a minute. No, you don't. You ain't got none of them.
Nah, I got pictures of my family.
Oh yeah, you guys are together.
It's not like it's like me and my mom.
It's not like a glamour shot of you and your mom, like the prom pose.
Yeah, now we. Listen, I don't want to offend anybody, but it might save your life. If that is you, seek therapy, because that is not normal. Yeah, listen, in my family, shit didn't get resolved.
Yeah.
It just got shuffled to
You didn't talk about it.
Nobody talked about it.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we're going to stop.
Yeah.
It's like, if we have a problem, go and talk about it, get to the root of it. Because usually it's not even like the thing that happened, right? It's like, oh, you're mad at me, you're getting snippy. I didn't do anything to you. So it's like, let's get to why you're getting snippy. It's probably not even about me, It
almost never is.
Right.
And what do you do? Like in Father Time, we talk about give the women a break, give your partner a break. Everything that you don't resolve is going to be inherited by somebody. And before you have kids, it's going to be inherited by your spouse or your partner. And then if you decide to stay together, then your partner is inheriting your lack and your inner children's lack. Now your child now is at a double deficit. We've talked about that. But look, we're not doing that this year. I told my mom straight up, you can't be talking to my son about his grandfather. Don't do that. You have your relationship with him and your history with him. I have I'm not even talking to him about it. Not until it's time.
Yeah.
Okay? I already have to put it in my mind. How do I tell my son?
And bring that up.
How do I explain to him when he understands now who grandma and grandpa is? He watches his Baby Shark show. He sees grandma and grandpa as a unit. He knows Julie's parents is grandma and grandpa, but then he only sees grandma. He knows what grandpa looks like. Gunpa. He knows what gunpa looks like. But how do I explain to him? Yeah, your grandfather's not here, but why? It has nothing to do with you, son. He's just not feeling well, which is true.
Yeah.
You're not feeling well mentally. You'll never be feeling well, right? So, that's something that I'm super passionate about. because I can see the faults. When you start getting that clarity, sis, you start seeing the cracks, and you're like, yo, you know what you guys have been promoting this as like family culture, but this shit is actually not normal. It's not okay. It's not helpful. It's not pragmatic. It's not pragmatic for y'all to beat your kids. Let's not.
So speaking of that, you think when you're going through, you think it's normal, right? And I just remember like being in probably like 5th or 6th grade, and we're sharing, you're sharing with your friends stories, and it's like, oh, I got in trouble. Oh, I had to sit in timeout. I got in trouble. I had to do this. And it was like, oh, I got in trouble. Like I had to go kneel in the corner. Yeah, kneel in the corner on some rice. And it's like, Angie, that's not normal. And I was like, so you don't got to do that? So you're telling me you don't do that?
Yo, when Julie and I first met, I told her, this way before we even decided to have kids or get married or even move in together. And I said, when we have kids, I'm going to be, because I have to. We going to live in the city. Now, this is before we knew it. We were going to live in rural America.
Right,
okay?
right.
But I was like, we're going to live in the city. We got to, because they men, we got to, we have a son. And she was like, why? She's like, my parents had never hit me. And I was like,
and I'm a Rhodes Scholar.
Bro, my wife is a Fulbright scholar.
Fulbright, not Rhodes. Fulbright Scholar.
Fulbright scholar on the road and the planes.
Yeah.
Okay.
On all of it.
And I was like, she never got her ass beat, but yet she was still successful and achievable. She didn't come out unscathed, right? But I'm like, that really challenged my conventions. Now, when you get into a relationship, you're going to do one of two things. If somebody challenges your conventions, you're either going to stand on 10 toes, double down, or you're going to start questioning. And I think that's going to bring me to another point, too, about inheritance. One thing that I know is going to stir up some controversy is inheritance of faith. And so I think we would be remiss not to talk about that because, lately I've been in a very interesting walk in my faith and my spiritual life. And it's because I think mostly because of what has been going on in the mainstream with Christianity.
Right.
And it's not something I can even recognize, this nationalist Christian identity that has befallen this great nation. And I started asking myself, like, yo, bro, that's not God, but that's also not what I believe in. What do I believe in? So then I start reading the Bible, and I start going through, seeking the answers. And then I started reading and realizing, like, yo, I just read this story about Moses, and it didn't make no sense to me. What do I do with that? Because the first thing I say is, like, yo, bro, the devil's getting in your head. He's making you think like you crazy can't question things. You can't question nothing that you read. Otherwise, you're of the devil. Devil. That was always what we were taught, right? Like, what did your parents tell you about religion, about your faith, and if you questioned any of it?
Oh, pretty much like you just had to go to church, you had to pray, and you had to believe, but never to question. Like, why would you do that? So,
did you ever question anything that you learned?
all the time. Like, I remember before so in like some sort of middle school, maybe 4th, 5th, 6th grade, my mom converted us from Catholicism to like Pentecostal Church of God church. She got saved at a like home Bible study, and then we just started going to a different church. Okay. And it was weird because before it's like you pray to these saints, like something happened, you say, 2 or 3 Hail Marys, whatever, blah, blah. But now it's like no Hail Marys, only God, only Jesus. And it was kind of like, but why though? And it was like, then with this church, it had more like programming for kids. So we were going to like kids church, and we had a youth pastor, and it was like, you were able to question. And I think when you have a healthy place to ask those questions and for the people that know to give you those answers, it's better than you just sitting there being told, don't question it. Like it's healthy to have questions. Like even in Jesus' time, there was a dialogue. He liked to go to synagogues and like have a back and forth with the rabbis or whatever people there. So it's like, that's what he wants us to do. And then to get to our own like dealings with the new thought process that we acquired, asking those questions.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to faith, Caribbean folks in general, specifically, if they identify with any theistic belief system, the questioning of any of those principles, anything in the Bible, which is, we all know, like the Bible is not like perfect. It's not like a perfect in real time. Like Jesus was not reading the Bible when Jesus was here, right? Obviously. Any questioning of those conventions whatsoever is met with hell and brimstone. And in Caribbean culture, specifically Haitian culture, there's something called madicho.
And like a damnation. Pretty much.
It's like a familial damnation. Mess with your parents enough, then they're going to put a curse on you that's going to replicate the curse of the third and fourth generation in the Bible.
In Spanish, it's maldición. It's the same.
Oh, wow. Maldición. Yeah. Maldición. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was like the craziest thing. When I was a kid, if my mother said maldición, it's like, if you don't clean that tub, get maldición.
Not your mom putting a hex on you, Vlad.
Bro, you know how many times I didn't realize it until my wife was pregnant. Because when Jules was pregnant, my mom was getting a little antsy about having say over what we did in the last rung. And fellas, please take note on this. This is a very important point. When you have a family that you are building, I don't care how much of a mama's boy you are, I don't care how much ish you went through with your mother, you need to decide before you even get married, that when you do, you will leave your mother and father and cleave to your wife, right? Isn't that what the Bible says?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for nothing. You need multiple degrees of separation in order to fulfill what you're supposed to do with your family.
And I would argue that women do too. Only because we are very attached to our parents, like girls. You know, that's what is it the saying? When you have a daughter, you have a daughter for life. When you have a son till he gets a wife. You know, so it's like we are very attached to our families, but you do have to have that separation because that's not your family. It's like your core family is like you, your spouse. If you have kids, some people don't. That's okay. So you and your spouse are the new immediate family. The kids, if you have them, they're the immediate family. Everybody else is now extended family, right? So it's like, how can you really be in an immediate family when people are also having a say into what's being done? You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like you've grown up in your immediate family, and you create another family that is an immediate family to your children. How can they have you be there if you're still present and playing the role that you did when you were 15 and 16 and 12 and 9?
Because they're still seeing you at that age.
They're still seeing you at that age.
Yeah.
We're going to see our kids. They're going to grow up and they're going to have their own relationships and make their own decisions, but they're always going to be our children. Like my baby boy is always going to be my baby boy. Like he's always going to have hugs and kisses from his dad. I'm always going to love on my boy. But I'm also going to have to accept the fact that he's going to grow up and have his own life, right?
Yeah. And I think that's why that separation is needed, because I know when I go home to my mom's house, I'm no longer, and this is just what I do, right? Angie Thomas. When I'm at my mom's house, I'm not a wife, I'm not a mother, I am a daughter. I get spoiled, I get babied. What do I want to eat?
Same.
Goo gaga. It's baby girl Angie.
Force.
Baby girl Angie wants this, mommy. Gracias. You know, but it's
I don't believe that. Your mom would be like,
no, my mom is the mother hen of mother hens, okay?
Word?
It's literally like, baby, I'll do the laundry. Don't worry about it.
That's my mom, too. You know my mom.
But it's like, if I was right there, Vlad, if I was there all the time, would I get that treatment? Probably not. It's like, no, girl, get to work.
Yeah, you'd be getting the criticism if you say not too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, my mom will do, like, I'll go to her house. Like the other day, she had to put me and my brother put some like kitchen island together for her. And so I went to the house. We were there. My mom was like, Vladimir, you want anything to eat? I'm like, no, mom, I ate before I came in. Unacceptable answer.
Oh, yeah.
My mom was like, well, eat something. I'm like, no, mom, I'm good. My belly's full. And she's like,
you better eat some legume.
And this is my mom. She's like, want to play? Your belly's full. Starts peeling onions. Mom. No. Okay, I'm good.
You finna take this food home because how dare you?
Yeah, I'm like, yo.
And your mama's shady, so she'd be like, you know your wife ain't cutting no onions.
That food would be at my she'd be shady like that.
I know
she'd be shady like that. Caribbean mothers just don't give a shit.
They don't care, Vlad.
They don't care, man.
They don't. Vlad, you finna take this food. It's gonna be warm to your belly.
Never mind if your wife cooking.
No,
your wife don't
she ain't gonna cook. You know you married that girl that don't cook, Vlad.
But that's why it's so dangerous.
It is.
You don't set boundaries.
Because she's gonna talk like that in her face.
In her face.
You
and
know?
if you don't do nothing,
and
then she's going to think that those boundaries don't exist
yes.
and they're not needed and that you agree. And then suddenly you're going to have what a lot of women experience, not every woman obviously, but many women who have that specific problem, realize that they're dating their husband and they're dating their mom-in-law. And that's not cool. So my mom was, when Jules when she got pregnant, my mom was trying to get a little overzealous and try to zing like, yeah, you need to tell your wife to do this and do that. And I put that boundary. I said, listen, we're not doing that in this household. I'm not telling her what to do. She don't tell me what to do. That's not how this works.
Right.
And my mom was like, okay. if I ever say anything to you again, I want you to punch me in the face, and I want you to knock my jaw on the floor.
Vlad, let me tell you, Vlad,
I was like,
my mom does this thing where it's like if you come to her saying something happened or whatever, she doesn't apologize. She'll be like, I must be the worst mother ever. And then my sister gets mad at me because I'm like, you must be. If that's how you feel, you must be. But it's true. It's like
the shoe fits.
Right. Don't be over here guilt tripping me.
Nah, man.
Be funny. I'm gonna be hilarious.
I'm gonna be hilarious.
You're a bad mom if that's how you feel about yourself. I'm sorry.
If the shoe fits, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody saying that about
and
you.
I have a great mom, but I feel like you said, all Caribbean moms just be saying these things, and it's like they know which buttons to press, and that's something that I want to stop. Talk about inheritance, right? But I hear my mom in me sometimes when I'm talking to the girls, right? And I have to catch myself. So something that my mom never did, my parents, I'm gonna include my daddy in this, is I do apologize to girls when I yell.
Yes, that's big.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know, you did not deserve to get yelled at. I'm just having a hard time. Like, I'll do better next time. And of course, then the girls, I'm like, you must be related to my mama, because then they're like, and don't do that again. And and
like,
then I want to hit a wall.
Mom, do that again.
And don't do that again, mommy.
The other day, you ever see that episode of Family Guy? Everybody has seen it when Stewie becomes obsessed with Lois.
Oh, yeah. Mommy.
Yeah, so that's what was happening. But usually it's on Mom, but it was on me this day. And I'm driving Lito home, and it's like, Daddy. I'm like, yes, Lito. The moon. I'm like, I know the moon is not out right now. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. He's like, okay, Daddy. And at one point,
my shoe.
Yeah, I just was not feeling it, Angie. I was just trying to get through the car ride. Like, there was a million things in my brain. And we talk about being present. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, I just need a stimulus break. Could you please stop calling my name every 5 fucking seconds?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, Angie was like, Daddy, yes, nothing.
And then they
Papa, yes,
feel when you're
nothing.
like about to burst, because then it'll be like, Mommy, I love you.
Well, Lito didn't even do that. Like, at this point, he's just like, Daddy. And I was like, what? And he was like,
Duh.
I was like, Lito, Daddy is so sorry. He yelled at you. Daddy just lost his patience. He's trying to understand what you're saying.
It's so tough.
I'm not going to yell at you again, okay? I'm so sorry. He's like,
Daddy.
Papa. So to your point, apologies didn't happen.
No.
Apologies don't happen in Caribbean households.
I feel like we're still waiting on apologies, bro. And we've talked about this before. Like, my sister has brought things up. Like, hey, this happened. And it's like, I don't remember it like that. You don't remember that? Oh, you don't?
I hate that. It's so dismissive.
So it's like you just have to, like, take the L, because you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And move on. But to your point, we shouldn't move on, but at least it was addressed. Like, they know it was there. They might not remember it that way. But it did happen, At least acknowledge it. Shit, don't have to say sorry. Just say something.
I was having a conversation with my father the other day, and it sucked. It was a sucky conversation.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm at this point. Thank you. I'm at this point in my life where, as Lito gets older, I almost feel like time is just fleeting.
Bro, these kids are going to be 3 years old.
Yeah, like it's just flying by. And so I'm trying to be intentional and present. And for like the last year, pretty much all year, as we've lived here now for a year, and I'm walking like my dad would at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, wondering what he was thinking about when he was pacing. And I'm just thinking about I really want to connect. I want to make an effort to connect with my father on a different level, because our relationship has been all over the place, and I have some control, at least over what I say and do. So if I reach out to him, maybe he'll oblige. So, I call my father. But of course, every time you do, he's like, the other day I talked to him like 3 days in a row. That is not normal. And I talked to my dad, and he's like, don't wait to call me for a year like you did last time. I'm like, I literally spoke to you yesterday.
And the phone works both ways, papi.
And the phone works both ways. I'm like, why are you waiting for me? And what my father does, right, is if he hasn't heard from you in a while, he'll call you, and then he'll hang up.
Oh, to look like he called you?
Well, you know what it was? When my parents first separated, what my dad would do is he would call the house at my mom's house, but he'd let it ring once so he'd know it was me, because he didn't want to talk to nobody else. Yeah. Which, again, I'm not going to get into that whole dynamic there, but yeah, I'm like, come on, dog. Like, you really want to talk to me? Do that. But it was a sucky conversation, Angie, because my father's in his bag, and he literally believes that everybody else has betrayed him, and that's why his life is so destitute. And I know that he believes that.
Yeah.
And
we're not looking inward here. We're just looking outward.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no introspection at all. My father said something on the phone. He was like, I've never had any problems with anybody. I've never had any problems. And I'm just like, and you know the whole story about him and my aunt. And I was talking about, I was like, well, if you didn't have any problems with her, why didn't she leave you the house? You don't usually see, on Wills, you usually see, I leave this to this person, this to that. You don't usually see a diss track on the 8th clause where, like, I'm specifically not leaving anything to these two jabronis because
This is not a
suck.
mistake. I'm really
Right.
not leaving them anything.
I'm not leaving them. Like, this is not
They
mission.
were not forgotten. I remember to
Bolded
not
line.
include them.
And, bro, that diss
Yikes.
track, my God rest her soul, she died in 2020. This diss track of a will was written in 1998. So I'm like, you had so many problems that she didn't even think about, well, maybe I'll change my mind someday. She wrote that will saying, F you.
I never updated it.
And
She
never
was like,
updated
that's it. That's how I'm going to feel.
So I asked my dad if everything was, he's like, I had the best relationship with her. So I said, well, then why didn't she, if you had the best relationship with her and you did all these things for her, then why didn't she have you in mind
Right.
for the will? Because she had my other uncle in mind. She's like, why didn't she have you in mind? Why didn't she leave you anything? He's like, I have no idea. I'm like, that's crazy. But what really hurt in the conversation was he was talking about my mom and the insurance, you know, that whole information. And he's like, whatever problems that she has, she brought them on herself. And again, I have tools. It's not like I haven't had contentious conversations with my father. But I said to him, Daddy, that really hurts, man. I just gotta be honest with you. That hurts for me to hear. Because, you know, I did live with you for the first 10 years of my life. I saw your relationship. You guys were no good for each other.
Right.
So for you to say something like that is pretty hurtful and dismissive of all the shit that you did. Right. And I'm not trying to bring that up. And, you know, it sucked. It sucked. At the end, he's like, you know, nobody's ever cared about me. You know, there's always this pity party, but that's what depression is, untreated. And I remember I left the conversation, which usually turns into a shouting match. And every once in a while, man, I'll get caught up in this. And I brought my journal, thank God, with me because I was running some errands. I brought my journal. I went to a parking lot. I journaled like 4 or 5 pages.
Oh, wow.
And I meditated and I made some content because I'm like, I'm not going to let these feelings go to waste. I'm going to make some content that's going to bring these feelings some sort of utility to somebody. And I just thought to myself, Angie, I'm like, damn, I never want my son to feel what I feel right now. I never want him to feel rejected. I never want him to feel like he has access to what I look like but doesn't have access to what I am. I don't ever want him to feel like he has to recover from his relationship with me or that I don't want him to be in his 30s begging to have a relationship and a deeper connection with his father that he can't have. And I feel like that's what a lot of us have, particularly, even if it's not as dramatic as my relationship with my parents. In the Caribbean, people don't talk. And if you don't talk and tell the stories of grief and grittiness and loss and feelings and emotion, like I don't even know what you are. You're like a cyborg.
Yeah.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
It's crazy, Vlad, because in the Caribbean, I feel like when dads don't want to be around or they can't be around, they're just not there.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the US, that same epidemic that you just named, like everything, but the dads are literally home every night, but don't have those connections. And sometimes I wonder, what's worse, bro? What's worse? Not seeing him, because at least he's not there. So it's like, well, we can't have a relationship, versus you're literally home every night for dinner. We just don't talk.
Yo, it's so funny you bring that up. I used to ask that question all the time, especially as I got into adolescence. I used to ask myself and maybe other people. I've asked Julie this question, rhetorically, of course. I don't know what's worse. I don't know if it's worse to have never known what my father looked like, not known what he sounded like, not know anything about him other than his name maybe or a picture, or to know exactly what he looks like, sounds like, what he dresses, what he eats, where he lives, and to not have a relationship with him.
You know, because that happens all the time. Like, and it sucks because then these wives or mothers are like single parents, but they're not. Like, you're there and it's like, it just sucks for the kids because it's like they probably see good dads at school or on TV or like, and then they're like, well, my dad is literally right here. My friend's dad is not in the picture. He doesn't see him. So it's like that proximity. So it's like, am I the problem? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I wonder how those kids are feeling in that situation, whereas your dad wasn't there. So you're like, oh, he probably has beef with my mom. Later, you were like, oh, it's with me too, or he just can't, relate to me or whatever. But it just sucks all around. Like, somebody said it online, and I want to say what's his name? Tim Ross.
Okay.
He's
Tim
like,
Ross,
if all the men in the world worked on themselves and fixed their issues, there would be no issues with anyone else, because it's like, if they worked on themselves, they wouldn't, do things to the kids, and then the kids grow up and then have all these issues. There wouldn't be like, women don't feel safe going outside because these men could be in the bushes, and like all the societal problems. It's like, and not to blame all men, but if men would just work on themselves.
Well, it's interesting because our societies, many societies, are built around the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And a few weeks ago, I was talking to a group of fathers in recovery about leadership and fatherhood. What does that look like? And one of the things I said to him is, number one, you cannot be a present and effective father if you are a shitty husband. It is impossible. Now,
Talk
for
about
those
it,
of y'all
Vlad.
who are talking about it, for you were wondering, like, well, I'm a good dad. I'm a great dad, so F my baby mom. I ain't got to get with her. Like, I'm not responsible for her anymore. Maybe. But you're responsible for your interaction with her. You're responsible for your interaction with your baby daddy, your spouse, your co-parent, whatever it is. So you will not be effective. You might be a great dad in your mind, but your child's going to always remember how you treated their mom.
And kids are always watching, Vlad. So it's like, if you're a husband, you're not treating your wife or your kid's mom a certain way. You have daughters, that's how they think they're supposed to be treated. You have a son, that's how they will continue to treat women. So it's like just this vicious cycle, and no one is happy.
Nobody. You know what Lito asked me the other day? Me and Jules were just chilling on the couch, and Lito's like, Papa. I'm like, yes, Lito. I'm like, yo, bro, I said yes, Lito, so many times that cobwebs in my butt. I said, yes, Lito. He's like, can you kiss mommy? And I was like, shoot. You heard
Don't
the man,
tell
girl.
me twice.
You heard the man, girl. Man.
I know the girls like to play like if we're just close to each other. You guys are getting married. And then Wallace is like, we already married.
Yo, it's cute. And when you think about inheritance, I would have loved to see that. That would have, I think about all the things that would have been different, possibly experience-wise, about my life had I seen my parents have affection. That's something that needs to be passed along to the next generation.
Yes.
Because that not only makes it gives them something to look forward to, but it makes affection normal. You know what's crazy, Angie? The first time I see my parents kiss was not when I was 5 or 4. It was after my mom already left my father. And my dad and my mom never slept in the same room for as long as I remember. My dad comes to the projects where we live eventually. I don't remember. This must have been within the first few months. Dad comes to the projects. He spends the night. And I'm like, and there's no explanation.
Yeah.
Like, your abusive daddy that was not sleeping. I was sleeping on the floor. He was sleeping up here. You were sleeping with him. He was sleeping. None of that is even a conversation. My dad is just there. Now I get it. As an adult now, complications.
Yeah.
Relationships are more complicated than that. Okay. But I'm 10 years old. Because somebody please fill me in like Craig David.
Yeah,
can you fill me in? Like, can you fill me in, bro?
Yeah.
Like, why were you creeping up late last night? Were you on my mama's room when I don't know what's going on? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, like just say something in an age appropriate way. But again, they didn't have those tools, Vlad. So it's like, I'm not gonna tell them the adult reason, and I don't know how to explain it to a child.
It was confusing, Angie. It was so confusing. It was even more confusing because now my dad was bringing and this only lasted like a few months, maybe.
Your mama didn't last that long with him. She was like, I tried.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She was like, I
I
thought you
gave
were
it a
serious.
good old college try. No thanks.
No thanks. And so my dad, I remember I was in the back seat. My dad was bringing my mom to work, and my mom says, all right, I'm leaving. And then she kisses my dad on the lips. And you would think, like, Lito,
Like a
I want to
sitcom.
celebrate this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
You're probably more traumatized. You're like, no thanks.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What are y'all doing that for? I was almost like mad about it. Because y'all can't act like this is normal now.
Yeah.
When all you ever did was scream at each other and slam doors and break shit. Like, you can't, like, what is going on here? So
yes.
that's just my tidbit about that.
Yeah, but you mentioned screaming and doing all that. That's something we also are stopping.
Yes.
Like, I come from a yelling house. We just yelling.
Yelling ass out.
Yelling ass.
You're not. Action!
Oh, and that's the thing, happy or not, but mostly like fighting, you're just screaming, trying to get attention because there's so many of us. So that's another thing we stopped. We're only having 2 kids. We can spend time with each one and not feel like someone's being neglected.
Right. We're not playing favorites.
We're not telling the other one, why can't you be like your sister? Yeah. Not comparing kids.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens a lot too. But just the yelling. Oh, yeah. Just the yelling. Like, that's why when I do yell, the girls are like, they don't know what to do. And then I have to apologize, right? But it's like just the yelling, just the constant yelling, to the point where when Wallace and I first got together, like I'd be on the phone with like my mom and he'd be like, why are you guys fighting?
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
like,
yo,
she's just telling me about her day.
You know what's crazy? One time, Julie was staying at my mom's house, and Caribbean mothers don't let you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Caribbean moms, especially if your mama's boy, they let you do anything, let you get away with it.
Oh yeah, boys do whatever. Yeah. Girls, we have 1,000 rules.
Yeah, oh yeah, ain't no rules.
Continue.
Ain't no rules, man. So Jules got to spend the night, many nights. Okay, and my mom said to me, she was like, "I don't care what you do, I just don't want to hear you." I was like, challenge accepted, man. Yo, anyway, but
I cannot imagine.
I know. Me, my mom, and my brother were having a conversation. Just, I don't know, about something random, like a light fixture or something. Just a conversation, heated or anything like that. At least I didn't think so. I opened the door to my room after the conversation's done, and I see Jules under the covers like this. Like Lito does when he's scared. And I was like, babe, what's good with you? Are you okay? She's like, are you guys okay? Like, sounds like you guys were fighting. I was like, no, we were just talking.
Creole just sounds aggressive. It ain't.
God, it sounds aggressive. But they're also, and my cousin Lisa, she'll always say, well, this is just how we talk. We're Haitian. I'm like, no, like we don't need to scream. That's not necessary. Like I'm right here.
Yeah.
There are times I've had to say it in adulthood. My mom's talking about Vladimir. I'm like, Mom, I'm literally right next to you.
Emmy tells me all the time, Angie, you're so loud, and I'm like, sorry, girl.
Like I'm right here.
Sorry, girl. We'll be in the car. She's like,
say it to my ear, not to my soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Yelling is not something we do in our house. And if it happens, like I saw that experience the other day. I can see the fear in Lito. Yeah. If I mess up and yell or snatch something out of his hand real quick, frustrated, it is so much easier. Again, fight me. Don't literally fight. Fight me in the comments. Last time I said something like that, put a short out, people literally fought me in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact,
shout out Naya, because she's always in the comments calling you out.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even her. This was on TikTok. Somebody came at my neck like heavy, and my neck was not even that big to begin with.
Yeah. We have a TikTok. I don't go on it, but Vlad does.
Roots and Rhythm Pod, holla at us. But anyway, this dude said it was about infidelity. But no, it was about men and women. We can't have them. If a man and a woman.
Oh, like a relation. Yeah.
And he was like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard of. I'm like,
whoa.
So my question was like, why are you offended, sir?
Yeah.
Can we talk about
Sorry
it?
that touched you that way. Do tell. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Tell us how about mommy over there.
Tell me.
But I was brought that up for some reason.
Oh, that he was arguing with you in the comments? So talk to us in the comments.
Fight me in the comments about this. Look, just because something has been done for many, many years does not make it effective, and does not make it pragmatic, does not make it unharmful. And one of the main arguments that I see in the comment section about corporal punishment, because we're very adamant.
Because it happened to me.
Well, my parents had, one of the most common ones, my parents had to beat me.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
I was that type of child.
Like, I made a video about that.
But imagine the type of child you would be if you never were beat and your system didn't have to go through that, you know?
And
let's mourn that child.
I remember I went to EMDR therapy a few years ago for like flashback trauma that I had from some abuse. Different. I thought that was my only problem until I realized, like, oh shit, I actually have to work through the beatings that I received. And I was so at odds with that, Angie. I was not ready to say that. I don't remember how we even got on that. But the therapist knows what she was doing. She was asking me questions that led to other questions that led to other answers. And I realized something. I was like, she's right. This didn't help me. It didn't stop the behavior that my mom was trying to correct. And it was only done because that's what she knew how to do. And
that was her only tool.
Right. And when you survive something as deep as kneeling in rice or kneeling in a corner or kneeling in general, which is definitely, that's rooted in slavery.
Oh yeah, getting beat with electrical wires and crap. Yeah,
extension cords. Like that's not loving.
Yeah.
Why are we celebrating something that was done to us by our oppressors? But that becomes a fabric of our culture because it was just normal. It's not normal. So fight me in the comments. I might not fight back, but we'll have a conversation. Fight us in the comments after you subscribe.
Be funny. I'll be hilarious because I do comment back.
Hilarious. Because look, the other day, Lito did something. He kicked his mom something, and that boiled my blood. And he had a shark in his hand, and I snatched that out of his hand. But I snatched it with the snatch of life because in that moment I was just triggered by it. And
it's like Wallace. If the girls hit each other, he's like, "You want me to hit you like that?" And it's like, "No, we've never hit them."
Angie's like, "No,
Bubby's gonna hit me," and I'm like, "Don't do it." Yeah, and whenever he has those urges, remember I told you, I'm like, "Fight me, just hit me, don't hit the girls."
Yo, it's real though, man. And it's just you can fight us in the comments about it. It don't help. Pete, there's a woman who was talking about how, because I was talking about peer pressure and how, when I was in, I think, 7th or 8th grade, there was a kid that invited us to his house after school, and then they started smoking cigarettes, and I got up and they started clowning me about it. Like, you gonna be, oh man, you such a pussy. And I was like, I still got up and left. You can say whatever you want to my butt cheek when I'm passing you. And so there was one woman in the comments, and she was like, yeah, I was a kid that was drinking and smoking at 13 and doing weed at 12 and 10 or whatever. And I was like, damn, that's tragic. That shouldn't have happened to you. But you know what she said later? She was like, yeah, I was a kid that was doing that. So I thank God that my mom beat my ass. I knew if I showed up high or drunk, my mom would beat me. I'm like, right, because that would just help all of your problems, wouldn't it?
And then it's like, you get beat because you did that. What information am I going to bring you in a healthy way to tell you that I'm struggling with something? I don't want to go to someone that beats me to share information freely. And I think that that's what that does. It's like that beating seals the door for any kind of critical thinking, back and forth conversations that you could have with your parent, with your kid. Because, and I'd rather my girls come to me and tell me they're going through something than for me to find out and then beat them. And guess what? Where does that go?
Bro.
It stops right there.
That's the reason why that many of the things that was going on with me in my adolescence and even adulthood when I was not getting beat now for a while, that's why I didn't tell my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I told my mom about my girlfriend in college after I was already married. You know what I'm saying? Yikes. Because I know my mom would try to, obviously she couldn't beat me in college, but but you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel safe enough talking with my mom about certain things, and I felt safe talking with my dad about certain things, but only if they were superficial. So on one hand, if you got a parent who's emotionally unaware, intellectually unaware, and then you've got another parent that'll beat your ass just for blinking. You're gonna run to your friends and get the blind leading the blind. Information that's not true, not factual, not whatever, important, necessary. Just out here struggling. And what people don't realize is that if you fail to properly raise your children, you're creating a generational pattern of children being raised by other children, which happens a lot in homes that have many siblings and parents who go through stuff. Like, you can only be tough for so long. You can only hold it together for so long. My mom held it together for so long. She had to be strong. I don't think she literally didn't, in her mind, have time to weep, to mourn,
to rest.
Process, to rest. She didn't have time to be weak because she had me, my brother, my aunt, my grandmother, and whoever else back in Haiti on her back. And it just doesn't work. Yeah. And I don't want my kids to know that. So anyway, man, we covered a lot today.
Yeah, this was great. This was a great, what is it? What am I trying to say, Vlad? Like recap episode / inheritance episode.
Well,
getting back to the groove of things.
We've got in the next episode, we're going to talk more about date night, what it was like with the group, and why it is important for you to get out, but also intentionally create a sound. How important it is for you to create a sound village with people, not just people that you're related to by blood, but people that you are related to by value and principle. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that in our next episode. And I can't wait to tell y'all what the experience was like going to a dual piano bar. I used to swear I ain't never going to this stuff no more.
Right.
But we was in there. And it was fun.
And Theo Wallace was singing. The group heard him sing. They didn't hear them before.
Don't tell them too much. You're going to ruin it.
You're right.
You're going to ruin it. But Theo Wallace shut it down. Shut it down. They should have been paying him, but we'll talk more about that later. Do you have any final thoughts for the audience on the topic of inheritance? What is your hope, your vision for the future?
I would say really think about the home that you're trying to create and what you missed out in your childhood that you wanted, and give that to your kids. Like, we want our kids to have the things that we didn't have. So try your hardest to get to the root of how you are the way you are, what you value, what you appreciate, what was done to you, what wasn't done, and try to model that for your kids. So
that's it.
Yeah, that's all.
The only thing I'm going to add to that is do all of that and more, right? And so if you want to give your kids a reality that you didn't have, you're not going to be able to do it just by making a decision. You're going to have to get some tools that you didn't have as well.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So get the tools, do the work, and enjoy the fruits of your labor, man.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
These kids are fun.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a great time being a parent. It is a great time. And it's even greater time if you know exactly what you're bringing in and what you're leaving out. That's it. It's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your number one embrace coach.
And Angie, la cyber mommy.
We are back and we are out of here. Stay rooted.
Deuces. This watch, so it's counting my steps. It's pretty cool. But I need new tennis shoes, Vlad. I've had my tennis shoes since probably before Lana was born. So do you have any recommendations? I know you're on your fitness all the time.
I used to think that you had to spend at least $150 on shoes, sis, in order for you to actually get some quality ones. But I'm telling you, these new shoes that I tried out, it's like you're walking on air. Matter of fact, you don't even remember you're walking on them at all. It's like you don't even remember you put your shoes on. One time I thought I was barefoot. I'm like, yo, where my shoes at?
Oh, I love that. And are they light?
Oh, they're super lightweight. They make my old shoes feel like dumbbells by comparison. I'm telling you, these shoes are comfortable, they're lightweight, and it doesn't even feel like you have them on. And on top of that, you can wear them anywhere. They're designed for people who are on their feet all the time, for the moms and dads who are chasing around the kids. So I would highly recommend them if you're looking for something new.
So what are they called and where can I get them?
You can get them at standplus.com. You go to standplus.com, put in our promo code ADX for an exclusive discount off of your next pair. They are the best all-day recovery shoes, so go ahead and get you a pair.
I'm excited. Thank you, Vlad.
Come on, let's do it.